assurances are given. Information is handed over on the assurance that it will not be made public immediately. It will not be used, but you can use it for your investigation to see whether something else opens up, to see whether you can prosecute somebody without reliance on that. It can point you in directions where, that evidence may lead you. To be clear, in this particular case, transcript of telephone numbers, the dates when they were made, wire transfers, withdrawal from bank accounts, bank statements. I mean, you can list WhatsApp messages, text messages. There are many things. And the point of the matter is very simply, if we do not, as a country, see this to its logical conclusion, it will just be another Sanctuary Bay, it will just be another Citizen Kim, and everybody will just say, to hell with it. Yeah. I take your point. We have to, as Belizeans, as organizations, as political parties, draw a line and say, we have to start somehow, somewhere.
Yes. I think it is very important for the request to be made, and as I agree with you, it should be an exercise on the part of the U.S. government as a requested state to make the decision whether or not there would be prejudice if that request is fulfilled at this point in time. Although from my perspective, I think it would be very difficult to see what the prejudice would be, because in any criminal proceedings, disclosure has to come first. And so the defendant in those proceedings, both Lev Dermen and Jacob Kingston, would have already received all the evidence that the U.S. prosecutors have in relation to allegations as against them. And for me as well, the scope of our investigation would really be as it pertains to persons in Belize, because under the MLAT, we can only pursue investigations in relation to offenses committed in Belize. So it's persons who have committed offenses here. So I agree with Mr. Courtenay. I find it very strange that we would take the position, first of all, that we have to wait, and secondly, and I keep hearing this word, what is they're looking at getting is transcripts. Mm-hmm. Transcripts doesn't help us, because the transcript is just what is said in court. I think the letter that the chamber had sent was very clear as to what we would want, and what we would want is everything in relation to everybody who may have been, implicated with Mr. Dermen and Mr. Kingston.
And your point is well made, Ashanti. Sorry to interrupt. The focus of what the government of Belize would be interested in is entirely different from what the prosecutors in Utah are interested in. And therefore, the likelihood of prejudice is not very high.